Oh goodness. The biggest thing that set me on fire was the knowledge and the education around YouTube. And I did not expect that. I'm Nikki Rogers with Team Nikki Rogers. I'm here to share about my experience at the family reunion with Keller Williams in 2026. I go to family reunion mostly, number one, because they bring in the most amazing speakers, life-changing speakers, as well as I get to really dive into the industry around other agents so that I can bring back that knowledge to the mortgage team. I never thought that going to family reunion this year would lead me to starting a YouTube channel. They call it family reunion because everybody that is associated with Keller Williams, as well as any partners, and even outside firms, are welcome to come once a year and essentially spend 3 or 4 days together listening to keynote speakers that are about mindset, learning about where the economics are of the industry and where they're moving. And also you get a multitude of breakout sessions, whether they're mini classes or panels talking about everything you can think of, from how to start your business, how to grow your business, what to do with your database, and really things that have been working in this new world we're in of technology and AI. But the number one thing is that everyone comes together. There's a lot of relationship building and networking. And I would say we call it family reunion mostly for that. So 2 years ago, I went to family reunion and I had the pleasure of seeing Mel Robbins speak. The first thing I noticed is that she walked on the stage in her Nikes. Oh, snap! Disclaimer. We have nothing to do with Nike. I don't own Nike. I am not being promoted by Nike. I'm so sorry, Nike. You're your own people. Please don't take my video down. And for me, that just stuck out mostly because she's being who she is. She's her authentic self. And really, about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I really set on this path of being my authentic self.
Authentic self.
Which means being who I am, wearing what I'm comfortable in. And so when I saw that, I loved it immediately because I knew she was doing something that was a little bit different. Now, everyone's wearing Nikes, right? What's even cooler about that is that these sneakers right here were given to me by my manager at a previous company at a sales rally. And so the entire premise was, what does Nike stand for? Really, it's just do it. And from there, I decided that my word of the year was just show up, like show up, just do it. But for me, showing up really resonated. So then I go to family reunion and there's Mel Robbins on the stage in her Nikes. And I'm like feeling, we got something going on here. This is great. And then she started talking about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 theory, and really was vulnerable and leaned into her experiences in the market shift of '06, which she then tells us basically you count to 5 and you get up, but doing it backwards helps your brain. And then as soon as I got home, Mel Robbins was just popping up everywhere. And so then I discovered the let them theory, which changed my life. I am riddled in anxiety, very sensitive, care what people think about me, and I worry about everything I say and how I say it. To me, I just am constantly questioning myself, constantly critiquing myself. And reading that book and really understanding, like, not only are we let them, meaning let them think what they want or whatever. That's not my business. But also then let you. She says let me. I change it to let you because that's how my brain works. To all down to it got on my affirmation arm. That was the moment I knew that there are people out there that have taken their opportunities and turned them around and really did it by being vulnerable and leaning into whatever they struggle with to overcome to then help others. So I tell that story because that has really locked me in to making sure that I attend the family reunion event because they blow my mind every time they bring a speaker in. And so this time, game changing, I'll say, really it was Gary Vee. It was so nice for him to say what was on his mind and not be censored and filtered and just tell you like it is. And, I'll use his bad language as an example. I won't lie, I like bad words. I try really hard not to say them. Um, but to hear him say them and affect a room in the way he did, but then make it clear that that's who he is and he's not going to apologize for that. And if I'm not your person, then that's fantastic because there's so many other people to be your person. But if you get past the bad language and hear what he's saying, stop complaining, dig in and do the work. When he said that, I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about. So then I locked in for that entire speech. I have ADHD. I don't think I've listened to someone talk nonstop for an hour like I did for him. Like, I never stopped staring at him. I was so locked in. And he really dug in and explained to us what YouTube is, who owns it. We all know, we know in theory Google owns it, but also how it's all connected, and Gemini and the different platforms and how reviews and the new algorithms. It was just, if I had not connected with his initial conversation about being your authentic self and him being who he is, and which resonated with me, I most likely probably would have went and got a coffee or went to the bathroom during part of it and missed something. So again, that's an experience. Every time I go to family reunion, there is a keynote speaker. This time there was every single speaker. I mean, I could sit here for days and talk about them all. Every speaker changes something in my life because it changes the way I see things.